Hi everyone. Hi everyone. It's me, Ilyasa Simpson. I am here tonight on the Charge Room show, and I am so excited to be here because guess what? I've been on social media vacation for 2 weeks, and I have not posted on Facebook. Um, and it was a little breather. You got a little breathe room because I don't care what you do in life. You need a vacation from something. You need a vacation from something. So I'm just here tonight and I'm excited. So tonight we have a really different kind of show to talk about a different kind of topic, and we have men and women on deck for tonight. So I just want to just give a little tidbit about, stopping by tonight. So tonight is normally Queens Must Wear Crowns night. And on Thursday, we have Where's My Kings night. So the women, we talk about women issues, topics, discussions on Wednesdays, and on Thursdays it's all about the men. But this week is going to be a little bit different. We're only going to meet tonight. So tonight on Wednesday and not tomorrow on Thursday, but next week we will resume our regular schedule. Okay. So the share button on the bottom of this live, share this screen with anyone you like, because guess what we're going to talk about? We are going to talk about women again, because we're talking about women tonight. Women, would you respect your man and stay with your man and be at peace with your man if he made $50,000 or less, and you be comfortable with it? Because in today's society, everyone is bling up, right? Everyone is talking about how everyone is just blowing up and making these 6, 7, 8 figure salaries, right? People are, growing into their own, and they have become ambitious. They have become not want to sit in one spot anymore. They have become able to say, hey, I think I want to do something else. I don't want to sit in these four walls anymore. I want to get up and travel. I want to see the world. I want to make money. I want to have my own business, right? So as women are growing into their own, it may be the male counterpart that may sit where he's at and be stagnant. So the question is, what kind of woman are you today? So are you the woman that woke up and said, hey, I want to smell a different type of coffee? Or that woman that says, hey, baby, it's me and you. As long as you love me and I love you, that's all that matters, right? And then I'm going to say, hey, check this out. I don't do any of that. If you don't have 6 figures, I'm not talking to you. So what woman are you today, right? So we're going to talk about, like I said, like our page at the Charge Room, share this episode, because the question is, would you date a man or be at peace with a man if he comes through with making $50,000 or less, and he not have the desire to grow financially, to build his financial portfolio in any type of way? So we're going to bring some queens and kings on tonight, and we're going to get this party started. Tonight we have Queen Tanya coming to the
Good
platform
evening.
tonight. Hi, Queen.
Good
Tonight we
evening.
have
How are you?
Queen Angela. How you doing?
Oh
Hi,
my
Queen
God.
Angela. How are you?
Can you hear me?
So
Can you hear
yes,
me?
we can hear you. You're a little yes. So we're gonna start with you to ask the question: would you date a man that made $50,000 or less and did not have the desire to grow or had any ambition to learn? How can he manipulate ways to multiply his financial household, financial portfolio? You know, it's like, what kind of woman are you? So let's start with Queen Tanya. How would you
Uh,
grace the stage with your
I would say good evening, everyone. I would say this. If that question was asked of me at a different time in my life, I believe I would have a different answer. But the short answer to that, and this answer is really based on where I am now in life. The short answer to that is absolutely no, I would not. The reason that I say that is because if you ask me at a different time in my life, I may have a different answer. And if I were younger, I would accept growing with somebody or accepting that someone has the salary that they have. As I get older and I recognize that I'm getting closer to where I want to be, I really would see someone who is making 50 or less and is happy with that. I almost see them as a kind of, they would almost be like a straggler for me. There are things that I want to do in
okay?
life. There are things that I find. I've never had a man take care of me. I've always taken care of myself. And that's never been an issue for me. But there are things that I want to do in life. Like you said, I want to travel. I like to do things on a whim. I like to get up. I like to go and eat out. I like to jump up and do things that cost money. In order to do that, I would want my mate to be able to fund those things that I like to do. And that doesn't mean I want him to take care of me. But I don't want to feel like at this point in my life that not only do I have to foot the bill for the things that I like, and that's not a problem, I don't want to have to foot the bill for the things that I want to do just to bring him along. There are other things that I want to do and I want to prepare for, like retirement. I have to think about where is my money going. I have kids going off to college. So without any other variable included, and I say that because there are other variables that may make me rethink my decision. But without any other variables, I would have to say the short answer is no, that is not something at this point in my life that I can accept. That's my short
Yes,
answer.
I do understand. So Queen Angela, come bless us your season. You're on mute. Angela,
There
you're
we
on
go.
mute.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Ooh, all right, good.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. But I think, I feel, I don't know if I want to say it's a tough question, but I do want to say that it is one that deserves real consideration. The average salary today for men is anywhere between, well, not just men, but just in general, is anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000 a year, right? You get anything less, if you can get more, that's awesome. I wouldn't be thrilled, but let's just say I met a guy who's a teacher, and he always wanted to teach. If that's the salary, then if someone is doing what they went they're doing what they studied, they're passionate and they feel good about it, then I can't get mad at what they're making because it doesn't match my salary. Right. And he may say, well, I'm happy being a teacher. It's very fulfilling for me. And no, I don't want to do anything different. My children are doing amazing and blah, blah, blah. How do you compete with that? It's hard to, if his salary can take care of him and his needs, I don't really need him to take care of me. It would be great if he could contribute to my lifestyle. The truth is if we worked out and the relationship blossomed and flourished, then we'll just combine our salaries, right? But it's hard. It's hard for me to say, yes or no to that. And I think because it really depends. It depends on what he's doing. You know, if he just has oh, I'm good, you know, working at Jack in the Box. I'm like, you know, I'm good working there. Then I might be like, well, you don't want to be a manager? But I think it depends. I think I'd be open to it after looking at those parameters. And it depends on how he talks. Like, you know, what is his delivery about? And you know, it's a lot.
Yeah. The variables.
Yes. It goes back, girl, you understand me.
Yes.
It really is.
Absolutely. Because let's say my husband didn't work or my man didn't work and make the money that I make, but he said, hey, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this job making 40 or whatever, but I'm going to be responsible for the kids when they get out of school. I'm going to do all that, babe. When you get home, the kids are they're good. I'll cook. I'll do. Then that for me would compensate that lack of money. And I'd be happy with that. And that's why I said the short end of it, just the clean cut answer for me is no. But when you start adding variables, you're right. You start to take things into consideration and say, well, you know, maybe it depends on what else he's bringing to the table to compensate for that lack of salary.
And you know what, too? It's like, you know, I think that women, no matter how much we educate ourselves or how independent we become, I think we still inherently would love to have a man who, you know, kind of plays that role, who's the head of the household. He's bringing home a certain amount and he's able to take care of us. I think we all kind of want that, even though we don't, you know, some of us aren't brave enough to say it. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. I want you to take care of me. I want you to take care of me. I can do it myself, but I want it. I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
We can do it, but it feels good to know that somebody is doing it and you don't have to bear the brunt of the responsibility of taking care of yourself all day, every day, all the time.
And you know what, Leish, I gotta tell you, it's this. I'm gonna send it to you. It's this TikTok video, and this woman says, you know, she's at a therapist, and she says, "Oh, nice haircut." She goes, "Yeah, I did it myself." And the therapist is like, "You know, that's a sign of trauma, right?" Just because you can do everything yourself doesn't mean you should have to. Yeah. And she says, you're proving two things. You're proving one to a man that you don't need him, and you're also trying to prove that you're good enough. And when I saw that, it just hit me so hard because it's like, you know, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for everyone else, but it's like I always wanted to be enough. Let me be smart enough. Let me you know, make enough money. Let me make myself marketable to try and attract the kind of person that I want. And it's like, okay, you know, let me be able to take care of everything. But why? And I think we're so focused on being queens that we forget to be princesses.
I like that.
Think about it, right? When you think of a queen, you think of her ruling by herself. You never think of everybody know Queen Elizabeth. That man died. What's his name? The queen's husband. See? Just prove my point. But everybody know the princess name. Princess Harry, Princess Meghan, right? Like we all know the princess but whenever you think of the king, you think of the king as a standalone person. You just think of him as the ruler or the queen as the ruler. You never think of them with their partner, you know? And I think that as women, especially Black women, we're so focused on just being the queen that we forget to be princesses. I want to be a princess. No, I know what I want.
I like that.
I definitely, I agree with both of you. I'm a, you know, a hopeless romantic. I definitely am. I confess, I'm a hopeless romantic, and it's about the heart and because you can be everything with no money. You can steal a person's heart with no money. And so many people get caught up in the materialistic part of being in love that they lose focus on what love really is. So to do little romantic things, just like you said, you know, to, you know, take you on a vacation or, but that does cost money, but there's the little things that add up to the vacation. Like, act like, let's play the land of make believe for a second. Let's be creative. Could we have like a cute little picnic in the living room? Like, could we go by the fireplace and, act like we, making s'mores as mushy in the face? Yeah, again, hopeless romantic. I
Mhm.
like simple things.
Mhm.
Simple things. And
Yeah.
people miss the point. They'll say, well, you're this and you're that. Why does it have to have a title? Why does it have to have a category? What happened to just plain basic love? Let me show her that I care. Because what is it to cook dinner and have my bathwater drawn? What it what how hard is that? But do you
Mhm.
think of doing that? You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So I've been romanced all my life. So that's why I'm a hopeless romantic, because I come home and the dinner is cooked and my bath water is drawn. Or I have flower petals on the bed, or roses on the couch with a card, or walking in the door and he's saying how much whatever kind of song from the old Jays or the Whispers or something,
Okay.
like how he loves me. You understand? So that right there takes precedent over money to me, because
Right.
you can't buy that.
Right.
You can't
Right.
buy that. So
Mhm.
if you start with a foundation of, let me show her how much I love her. Let me pay attention that her favorite color is blank. Let me pay attention she likes her coffee black with no sugar. Let me pay attention that, she likes to handle laundry and I'll do the vacuuming. Something like, let's communicate, let's
Mhm.
talk, let's sit down and have vibes, and like just let it just flow back and forth, just unapologetically. But
Mhm.
people get
Mhm.
so caught up in the money part, like, oh, he need money to, but you still unhappy though. So let's say
Mhm.
he makes 6 7 figures, but you in a big old house, driving a big old car, and you still in the house by yourself. You
Mhm.
still, even if
Mhm.
you in the house physically, but you still feel like you're in the house by yourself. So
Mhm.
what's 6 or 7 figure money worth then,
Mhm.
if
Mhm.
we can't be friends as well as lovers, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
to answer that question, I do agree. I can't quite say yes and I can't quite say no, but we can start somewhere. Start by loving me. Start
Mhm.
by
Mhm.
showing me that you care about me. You're affectionate about me. You're considerate about me, right? So I
Mhm.
can give it back to you, because if you deposit into me, I can love you better.
Mhm. Mhm.
I can love
I
you
like.
better.
Yeah. I like
Huh?
that.
What some
I
of
like
my
that. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Go. Go ahead.
It's so interesting because like some of my favorite couples where the husband is just, or the boyfriend is just so into the woman, like he's just into his woman and he adores her. Those relationships, the woman makes more than the man, and it's just so
Yeah.
Mhm.
interesting. And he, spoils her with what he has, with what he can. He spoils her and he just adores her. And it's so interesting. It's like, for me, like the guys that I've dated who they do well, they're arrogant, they're self-centered, because, and I think for them, is because they put so much time into acquiring their success that that arrogance kind of comes along with it. It's like, I'm here now, look, I ain't settling for nothing, you better come this way and that way and I'm this way. And the brothers who work hard and they seem to appreciate a little more, and they appreciate everything that they get. And obviously this is a rule of thumb, because I know men who make a decent salary still, and they're humble, and guys who don't make anything and they're a-holes. But it's just, when I think about it, it's like, I think sometimes a certain arrogance comes along with a certain income bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
even with women,
Yeah.
like when we make a certain salary, and obviously I'm not speaking for us, but I say women is collectively, you know, sometimes we have an arrogance about us, where we look down on people, you know, men who don't make as much as we make, or, you know, they don't live as well as we live, or don't drive what we drive, or whatever. It's like we tend to look down on them, but then we feel bad if someone looks down on us. And it's like, you know, it's like, you know, you're a good person, you know, your heart, and you know, you may not bring a certain salary to the relationship, but you know what else you offer. And those are those things that we're all agreeing matters. How do you treat me? You know, how do we communicate? How do you communicate when you're upset? Like when there's an argument happening, do you know how to fight? Or, you know, you just attacking me and belittling me, or am I going to belittle you? But in this particular case, in staying in line with the subject, I think if that communication is on point, and he adores me, and, you know, he's happy, like just genuinely happy, and he feels enriched with what he's doing, whatever his career is, then I stand for him. I'm gonna be like that TikTok. That's my man.
Yeah, that's him.
You know what?
That's him.
I'm taking the side.
Yeah, and I want to clarify and say, because for me, I do want that man to make what I'm making or more than I'm making, but I do want to also state, and this is very important, that the money is not everything. So if it's just the money and he doesn't have anything else, I don't want him, because I can tell you that I've been in relationships where they've had money, and just like you said, they're complete straight up a-holes, or we just don't have anything in common, and this person just happens to have money, and I'm not happy because your money is not enough. So there are those other variables. And Ilyasa, you are right in saying that if this man loves the ground you walk on, he supports you, he does everything for you, and he's loving on you, and you coming home, and this man is, you know, he's you're his world, and all he wants to do is make you happy, and he's making half the salary that you're making, that's something that I absolutely would consider, especially when ain't no other man making me feel like you making me feel. Now, what's the value really that I'm putting on your $40,000, $50,000 job? I may be like, all right, boo, you know what? We're gonna make this thing work. You're making me, you're treating me like the queen that I deserve to be treated. And so now you're pouring into me, and just like you said, Ilyasa, I'm gonna pour into you, even if I gotta pour some of my money into you, but there's a value you put on it, and you have to ask yourself, you know, what's that balance and what's more important? Because you can be with a man that's making a lot of money, and you're living in a big house, and you are absolutely miserable because money in itself is not going to make you happy.
I don't do misery. I do not do misery. I can't. I can't. I'd rather have nothing than to be miserable. Seriously.
Yes.
And it is. I've had both ends of the stick. You know, it's like, you know, the majority of the partners I've had, they've taken care of me. Period. Just period. But then there's the part that you have to struggle to wonder, like, Dad, do you care about me? Like, Dad, do I exist? Dad, am I in the house? Are you in the house too? Like, hello, you over there? You know, how about you want to sit downstairs and watch TV? Right? Like I'm upstairs, boo. Like you can't, we can't do something together. So like that just that agony that put me through is just never worth it. It's just never worth it. I'm not gonna sit and be miserable. Now the thing about it, I think some people fail to look at least you have a job. We can together we can grow an empire together. Because even though a person's mindset may be one way one day, it's it's not going to totally last forever. Now, there are some people that, like to sit, but if most people are a product of their environment. If they see you grinding, they're going to say,
Right.
well,
They're going,
Dad, what is she doing?
mm-hmm.
Or
Right.
if you on your grind, you on your grind to be whatever, whomever you
Mm-hmm.
want to be. Your goal.
Right.
You are driving towards attaining your goal, right? So
Mm-hmm.
as you're driving towards attaining your goal, your life is going to start changing.
Right.
Your
Right.
movements are going to start changing. Your
Mm-hmm.
language is going to start changing.
Mm-hmm.
So as you start to change, he's going to look up and go, wait a minute now. She wasn't like that
Right.
yesterday. When I
Right.
went to bed, she's looking a real different today because,
Mm-hmm.
we get, wear a different style bra now. We graduated to a different type of undergarment, right?
Right.
We want to
Mm-hmm.
wear a different type of shirt. A man is going to
Right.
notice those things like, well,
Mm-hmm.
she went from cotton to lace. Like she wasn't wearing that last week, right? So as we grow and develop these new creatures here, they are going to step back in their mind and be like, oh, let me talk to her. We need to have a conversation. Or they'll
Mm-hmm.
even come up with a little smart comment,
Mm-hmm.
let's
Right.
don't get
Right.
smart with me, discuss this,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
babe, then you can have that serious conversation. Well, babe, when we met, we were here. I want to start from the bottom and be here. So that's what I want to do. It's okay that you don't have the same desires that I, have. That's okay. But what else in the cards is for you? Like, because you
Mm-hmm.
do see me changing. Like, how does that
Right.
make you feel, babe?
Now,
Right.
would it
He's
bother
gonna
you?
give you the response.
Would it
Say
bother
that,
you
Angie.
if would it bother you if you're changing and he doesn't?
And I would
If
have
you're
to go with my
growing,
flow.
like
And
if you're growing and you're doing all these different things and you feel your life expanding, and he does not want to do. I mean, like if we stay true to it and he really wants to just, I'm good where I am. Would you be okay with that?
we would have to have a discussion. And it may make me feel uncomfortable because that's uncomfortable. It's
But
very
necessary.
uncomfortable because if once we have a conversation and he expresses, because you have to understand where a person's mindset is. You want to understand, because I want to understand. Well, because it's a root to everything. It may be something from his childhood is blocking him from opening to be a little bit more rising of his thought process. So it's like, let's have a discussion, because
But
sometimes you may be the one to give him a breakthrough.
but really,
I would be definitely uncomfortable.
what if it really is that
I
situation
would,
where this guy is a teacher? This is what I want to do. This is what I've always wanted to do, and I understand that children are the future, and I enjoy it, and I get a great sense of fulfillment to see these, to transform these young minds, and you see his passion, you see everything about it, and he's good, and that's the salary that the school district pays, and he feels like,
I
well,
don't
I'm
want.
committed
I
to
don't
this
want
school
to.
district, but
I
he's
don't
like,
want to.
your
I
vision's not,
wouldn't want to change.
huh?
I would not want to change someone. Like, if someone's
So
happy
would
with
you stay
something,
with him? But would you stay with, if you're growing, would you stay?
I can't answer that. I would definitely say I would be uncomfortable, but I can't fairly answer that question because I know I would be uncomfortable. One thing I never would want to change is a person's happiness, a person's peace. It may come to a point where we go to a point and we have to grow apart, based on, again, you have to have that serious conversation, because maybe aim to go to a different level in life. Our goals may change because people change every day. And if someone is happy, I never want to disturb a person's happiness.
And
Because when two people are in a place, they have to come together to have a discussion, to be on an even plane, to understand each other. But if you, and
and I,
sometimes what happens is when two people get to that place, they don't have that conversation and they start, tension comes into the house, tension
I
comes into the
think that
relationship.
I think and I think that that takes us right back to that place where could you be with this person if this is the end all be all and this is all they're going to make? They are happy, and so they have no desire to make extra money, and they may be loving on you, but it's a conversation, and sometimes the result of that conversation is you, because you can't change people, you can't always change everybody. That
Right,
may be the end all be all,
right.
and you may say, okay, I can't do it because not, my life is taking me in a whole new
To
direction.
another.
I'm experiencing new things,
Mhm.
I'm doing new things, they're costing money. I have this whole new life and I want to take you with me. And sometimes they're not in a position where they can go with you everywhere if you're not okay footing the bill. And that's the
That's
reality
right.
of it. You can love on somebody, you know, women, we're natural, we're nurturers. You can love on somebody enough to make them want to do something that you want them to do, and they'll do it. And then you have that one who's like, nope, I'm a school teacher and I'm happy, and this is all I want to do. I don't want to do no more than this. I am good. And then there goes that, well, we have to separate because that's not, their
Right.
good is great
Walking
for
around.
them, but it's not good enough for you.
Right.
I would
That's
stay.
the road.
I would stay. And the reason why is because, on one hand, we say it's not about the money, right? But the way it's turning, it's about the money.
Hmm.
So for me, it's like you never know what, like, we're moving on where we believe God is directing us, right? God is leading you here. God is wants to use you to do bigger and better things. What if the creator led this man to be exactly where he is, and he has a strong sense of fulfillment, right? And but he's still good to you, he still adores you, he still loves you, he still, you know he he's not unintelligent, he can hold and have, amazing conversations with you, he's supportive of everything that you want to do. And so it's like, I don't know if I would feel like, well, I don't want to foot the bill for you to travel. I would feel like, well, whatever you make, if I'm making 120 grand and you're making 40, at the end of the day, that's 160 grand household. I see no
Hmm.
reason why
Absolutely.
I see no reason why we can't make it. I see no reason why we can't.
Hmm.
If God is leading me in a direction where my job is going to garner more, a higher salary, then that's just where it is. That's the blessing that God gave me. Not everyone can teach, you know.
Right.
Not everyone can do what you do. So, or the way that you do it. That's what I should say. No, not you. People can't do it the way you do it. I think that if this man is truly has a great sense of fulfillment, he's happy, like, and there's joy, like, just to be with a person who is just so filled with joy. I can't imagine just walking away. It's not like he's
Right.
a bum and doing nothing.
Hmm.
It's not like he's an unintelligent person. It's not like we can't have deep in-depth conversations and he doesn't feed my soul. I'm
Hmm.
like, well, then if you make him 40, 50, we just gonna add that to mine and we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
We're gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me,
Right.
you know. Um,
Hmm. You know, I'm greedy. I want both,
and there's nothing
but
wrong with that.
I want both. I feel like they're not independent of each other. I want both, but if I couldn't have both, then you're right. I wouldn't say no, I'm throwing you away because I need this amount of money. We'll make it work. And like Ilyasa says, I'm going to try to love on you enough and guide you enough or use myself as an example for you to come, for you to excel and be where I am. But if that doesn't work, I absolutely would not say automatically, no, that's it, you got to go. Because a good man is a good man. And there ain't a whole lot of them
Yeah.
out there to choose from. And so you don't want to take that good man and throw him away just because he making half of what you're making. So I absolutely get it. And even after this conversation, ladies, I am, I was like, oh no, he got to, but now I'm like, you know what? If I was presented with that, I definitely would give that some consideration. So this conversation is kind of breaking me down a little bit. I mean, thank God I'm in a position where I got both. I got a husband and we got both of it. So, God was looking out for me because I was like not
Okay.
doing well
Yeah.
for a minute. So I got both. Um, and I even had a conversation with my husband, and he said, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that with everything I'm doing and loving on you and the way I am, you would throw me away if I wasn't making, a certain amount of money? And I was like, well, yeah. Like, wait a minute. So as I'm talking to you ladies, is really kind of bringing me down to a level like, yeah, what if this is the person that God has for you, and this person is where they need to be, and they don't need to love on you. They don't need for you to love on them with the purpose of taking them to another financial level. This is who you're supposed to have. And he's supposed to make half as much money as you're making, and whatever he comes with. But this is a good man. Do you want to throw him out there for another person to get your good man?
Right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you see the next woman all happy and they're in love, but you done got your $1 million man. You done got your $1 million man, and you waiting for him to open the door, and he looking at you like, "What's wrong with your man?" I'm just, it's
You're right.
sometimes we really have to look at where our value is,
Yeah.
and I think I really try to look at that whole picture, and sometimes it's not about what I want more than it's about how I want to feel.
Right.
And I know how I want to feel in a relationship, and that doesn't always come coupled with dollar sign. Now,
Right.
you ask me if I get to choose. Well, yeah, I'd like that man to make that. Of course, I'd like him to make double of what I make. Of course, absolutely, because I want to be with like princess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I've definitely even changed my stance, even in having this conversation, ladies. I start to soften up on that and say, what is right there? I put too much value on that part of it. If I have this man who's loving on me and treating me like the queen that I am, then how much value should I put on the money that he's bringing to the table? Yeah.
Right. So we have added the kings on right now. So kings, you have heard us speak of this topic, and we would like to allow you both in to get your feelings about it. I mean, but it's two parts. You know the topic, right? But then you heard what we feel in our views. So give us your representation of what you think the topic is about versus what you heard of our feelings about it. So we are open for your views.
Well, peace. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Peace, Queens. Peace, Father. I think I definitely like the person, everything that I've heard. The main thing is this: love me for me. Value what's important here than what's the materialistic value being brought in. Because what's more important, as you're saying, is like this: the matters of the heart means more to me than the matter of the dollar. Of course, we're living in times where we need to make money to do this and do that. But if we're talking about, if I'm in a situation, I think Queen Angela said it best. If I'm in a situation where I'm making a $50,000 salary as a teacher, or in somewhere where I'm happy doing the job because I get a better fulfillment of seeing the products of what is produced by what I give. That's more than the money I need to be earning, because the product of it is the children are growing. The children have learned, and they're learning from the fact of the love that I'm giving them to go out and do better. And I feel my just reward is where I'm at. Now, at the same time, I'm not going to be a hard-headed person about this, that, and the third. That's all it is. I'm also the type of man, like I said, irregardless of how much money I make or my woman makes, I'm the king. Point blank, period. It ain't about how much money you make. It ain't about how much money I make. It's about what we do as a partnership, what we handle as man and woman. So if we don't communicate, because in every relationship, in every factor of life, communication is the main thing, number one. We have to have that level of understanding. If I'm comfortable where I'm at, I don't like to say stagnated or this. If I'm comfortable in where I'm at, and I know that if I'm straight, if I know that all my finances is taken care of, irregardless of what more money you make, that doesn't intimidate me. Because I know that when I wake up, I know my bills is paid. And I know I still got money in the pocket. And I know if I need to go to the bank to get more, I got it. Because I got it going on with or without you. That's what I have. But if I'm bringing 50,000 to your 200,000, guess what? I'm bringing 50,000, but I'm bringing more love because I'm loving you. I don't care about your 200,000. You know what I mean? We add it on and we multiply, because we can take 50,000, 200,000, make 250,000, but we can multiply that to make 500,000. That's the mindset I'm talking about. You know, it's what we decide to do together. You want to go on trips? Bet. Let's go on a trip. We plan it. We don't just, even if it's in the spur of the moment, well, baby, you think I can do so and so? Well, number one, I got to check my criteria. I got to check my job schedule. Because if that's what I'm doing and you already know that, then there wouldn't be a room for argument or discussion of it in negative fashion. We already know what your schedule is, you know what my schedule is. So we come and we compromise, we talk, and we add on and we build on it. That's the whole thing. I understand there was a lot of values that you said, Queen Tanya. Okay, yeah. A lot of things that I heard you say in the beginning was beautiful. Like, I was like, oh, wow. At first, I was like, but then when I heard you give your validation, I was like, okay, I can understand that, where you are at this point in time in your life. And again, different strokes for different folks. And that's understandable. It's not for me to judge you based upon what you're saying and say, oh, she is a gold digger or she got high standards. We don't need to do that. We just need to learn how we need to govern ourselves accordingly within our own right, And I think that that's part of the problem that we have in today's society. We always looking at somebody else's pocket instead of trying to figure out ours. You know what I'm saying? So the love me for me. My heart is pure. If I'm gonna treat you like royalty, if I adore you, I don't care if I was making the 100,000, 200,000, or whatever. You came home with 25,000. You coming home, I'm looking for love. I'm not looking for your 25,000. I'm looking for the love. You know what I'm saying? Love me for me. And that's what I'm going to leave it at for that part right now. Peace.
I think we're all on mute, so we can't hear anything.
King Father Wise, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
You can
I
hear
can hear
me?
you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I was sitting back here and I had to get a cold water because the furnace was burning and to keep the smoke from coming out of my ears, right? I was sitting there, I was like really listening, and I was listening to everybody. So from what I'm hearing is if the man makes less than the woman, he has to do extra stuff. right? I don't think so.
No,
I heard Kay say no.
no,
I heard Kay. I, I, I
that's
didn't
not
finish.
what we were saying.
I'm not finished.
Okay,
All right.
okay, go ahead.
And I was just saying, I'm sitting here listening. If the man makes less than a woman, he has to do other stuff, keep the house clean, rear the kids, do all this other stuff. And I'm just sitting here listening to that, and I was like, huh? Because Kay said it best. I can bring home $25,000 and you make $100 million. I'm still the man in this house, period. Right? Um, Kay also said that, and I'm just sitting there listening to everyone, and I'm just like, because a man makes less, he has to do more or love you more, or why? Right? So I'm just here because I'm one of those dudes, right? I make a high five figure. Let's put it that way. And women just never mattered to me how much you make. As long as like men, we don't rock like that. But I notice a lot of women rock like that. If a man doesn't have this or doesn't have that, they won't even bother with him. But a man will take a broke chick and rock out with her, right? But the sisters won't do that for the brothers. You got to be some type of special type of dude. You got to be loving on me, right? You got to be saying all of this stuff like that. I'm not doing all that. Plain and simple, right? Um, Men make money. A lot of women are starting to make a lot of money now, and that's a good thing, right? But men have always made a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So, and we look. As far as I'm concerned, I'd date the fried girl in McDonald's, as long as she was nice to me, and she was cute, and we got along, and everything was fun. Why not? You know what I'm saying? I don't look for nobody to do nothing, because most of the time people are just people. People have flaws. People have everything going on with them. A lot of baggage, going on. And I think the money thing has always been an issue between people, couples. This one makes more, this one makes less. If you make less, you're supposed to do more. And if you make more, some men don't do less. It's just like you said, most men who are super rich like that got about 3 and 4 chicks. They can go wherever they want, any state, whatever. The blue collar guy like me, guy like Kay, they we do what we can do, and you get treated how you treat. See, I don't care how much money you have, you're gonna get treated how you treat me. Period. I'm not doing no extra stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to treat you just like you treat me. Now we can have fun, or we can go out. They'll spur of the moment trips and all this other stuff. Nah, I ain't into that either. But we can plan a trip, you know, and planning could be 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks, as long as it's planned and somebody knows about it. Like, you can't come home Friday night. Yo, let's go to Atlantic City tomorrow morning. Eh, it depends. Can never know what someone's doing that weekend, or it could be tired from the week before, or anything. But this money thing, I just think it's not a topic. I really, I just know a lot of men get used. That's what I do know when it comes to this money thing. Um, Women like to spend their money on them, and women like to spend our money on them. Period. And for a man to feel less than because he makes less than you do, or you make him feel like that. And I always say, dudes who make less money are the ones that's gonna give out more, because that's how they feel they compensate. That's how they feel. If a guy doesn't have a car, when you pick him up, of course he's gonna give. If he's a real dude, he's gonna give you gas money. That'll be the first stop for the night. gas station, then everything else we take care of. That's how I used to do back in the day. And, but for a man that, like, most guys who make less are that type of guy you're talking about, who's gonna love on you, who's gonna do all the things that you need him to do and want him to do. That's that guy. Because I have experienced that personal experience with that. You know, but I'm me personally. I don't. I never. Money was never an issue with me. Never an issue. You know. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it. Mhm.
Can I add something?
I just want to say one thing. Um, I know in the beginning when you started to express yourself, you made a few statements of what you thought you heard, but that was not definitely what we were discussing. Because it's not the fact of, oh, if a guy is making only a certain amount of money, then he gotta do extra things. This is not about gotta do anything. It's about love. Two people love each other. It shouldn't be an effort for the man to do anything when he loves his woman, and vice versa. So I think you misinterpreted our language as we expressed ourselves as women, because it's not about extra effort. Because the way you hearing the way you sound, it's like, okay, well, where's the love at? Because I don't feel any love in your heart as you are expressing yourself. Because I said 1,000 times, I'm a hopeless romantic, and a man has needs not to have the money for the love. Because if he is taking to cook me dinner, cooking me dinner and drawing my bathwater is not an extra effort of I gotta do that or he gotta do that for me. No one has to do nothing for anyone. Anyone. So for my partner to cook me a meal, make me a romantic dinner, draw my bathwater, have a walk in a park, that's not extra effort. That's love, because I want to learn to love my partner. I want my partner to pour into me. And that's what all of us queens were discussing, the beauty of a man pouring his heart into his woman to make us give back to him the same kind of love. We exchange love in fairness. So, please pardon us if you are hearing something in a way that you are receiving it for you to say, oh, if a man is only making, then a woman he gotta do A, B, and C for his woman. So please pardon the platform on that, because that is definitely not what we established when we started talking. So in all fairness, I'm just laying that back out to you. King Joshua, welcome to the platform tonight.
Peace, peace. How y'all ladies doing? Pardon the
How
tardiness.
you feeling?
I'm getting feeling a little better. But I wanted to chime in a little bit about when you're dealing with relationships and understanding and building relationships. In the beginning, you have to understand that you're establishing like a corporation. You're establishing a corporation. You're two individuals that's merging together in a corporation. So if you're building, it's not about the money. It's about, like you said, pouring into one another and how you're going to grow from here to there. I'm still old fashioned. Like when it comes down to things, I still ask women out for dates. I still write poems. I still do all the those little things. I still buy flowers, whatever the case may be for his romance. And I think that's the type of energy that you're looking for. And when it comes down to a man and his money, it's not about what you financially gave this one or that one gave that one. It's not about that. It's about how much time and energy that y'all poured into the relationship. Just because he might make 45 or 50K, and you might make 100,000, but the you know what I'm saying, that doesn't make you rich. What make you rich is the love that y'all poured into the relationship. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about money, and if money is the issue, if money is the true issue in a relationship or a stronghold in the relationship, I know a lot of rich people who make 15, $20 an hour, and I know a lot of poor people who make six figures because of what they put in and how they manage themselves and how they carry themselves. You want a man or you want a woman that's going to respect you, or you want a man or a woman that feels like they got to pay for you. You know what I'm saying? And when the individual feels like he's buying your time, that's the one that's going to dog you the most. The one who feels like he's investing into your time, that's the one that's going to show you the world. And that's the one that's going to give you the world. It's not about nothing else. It's about how can we build together? What is our future going to look like? What is the determined idea of where you want to go and where I want to go? Do we share the same ideals? You know what I'm saying? Can you be my help me in this situation? Am I your Boaz in this situation? Let's really sit down and think about this. Let's have these conversations. Let's be adults. There's no more kids. There's no more children. Let's be adults. What type of man do you know what I'm saying that you want? Because the type of man that you want, I'm not him. The type of man that I am is better than him. And that's the way it's going to always be because I'm going to make sure that I always be who I'm supposed to be. I'm not going to never send my representative. I'm never going to send an individual with my paycheck. I'm going to send an individual with my heart. And everything else from that point on is a blessing. I never look at a woman's pocketbook, see how much money she makes, none of the above, because that don't concern me. Because I'm going to take care of all the needs anyway. We go out on a date. I'm taking care of the date. We paying the bills. I'm paying them bills. That's what men do. So it's like the subject alone. I was watching from the YouTube part, and I was not, and I peeped a few good points, and I saw a few good things. But I just wanted to make sure, like, it's understood, like, love has no dollar amount. Love has no dollar amount. And if any individual can put a dollar amount on their love or on themselves, they done undervalue their whole situation. So, I know I came in late, and and I just wanted to say thank y'all for allowing me to come in and join in with the queens and peace to the gods. For myself, I ain't even acknowledge my brothers. Um, but I enjoyed, I would like to come in on another Wednesday with my brothers and we have some more dialogue because I think this is fruitful, not just, what I'm saying, a all women's point or all males point, that we can get together and have an interesting dialogue.
This is true, true indeed. And I appreciate all of you gentlemen coming on Queens of Must Wear Chronicles. Like I said, tonight, this week, we are combining both nights because tomorrow is just unavailable for me beyond my circumstances. So again, I thank everyone for coming in. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. Queen Tanya, thank you so much for coming on. You were definitely a beautiful asset for tonight. Queen Angela, thank you for coming on. You was an awesome asset for tonight. And again, I appreciate all of you. And again, everyone out there that supports us, please keep the topics coming because, you hear us speak every single week. Y'all hit me up with different topics. You're out there looking, sending me videos. I think this is good for the Queen show. I think this is good for the King. So I definitely appreciate the support. Tonight's topic came from a supporter, and I appreciate him for sending it in because it is a very good topic. So again, everybody reach out, look high, look low, look around the corner, look underneath the bench. Keep the topics coming in, and if you send it in, we will definitely take it in consideration and speak upon it. So thank you everyone for coming on tonight, and we will see you next week. Bye bye for now.